In this lesson, I am going to go through some high-scoring example recount responses so that you can see what effective answers look like. We will start with a speaking sample response. And for the speaking sample, you're given 30 seconds to prepare and then 3 minutes to speak. So the prompt that we'll look at here is describe a time when someone helped you with something. How did it make you feel? Last year, I had an unforgettable experience while working on a science project. It turned out to be one of the most challenging, rewarding, and even transformative moments of my school year. First, I had to create a model of a volcano for my science class. I thought it would be easy, but I quickly realized I was in over my head. I had never done anything like it before, and it pushed me far outside of my comfort zone. I didn't know where to begin, and I felt stressed and unsure of myself. Next, my older sister noticed I was struggling. She had done a similar project before and offered to help. At first, I didn't want to accept her help, but she was kind and patient, so I agreed. After that, everything started to come together. She helped me shape the volcano, paint it, and even build little houses around it to make it more realistic. When it was time to test the eruption, she helped mix the vinegar and baking soda. It worked perfectly. As a result, I had one of the best projects in the class. Ultimately, this project was more than just a grade. It became an enriching experience that brought me closer to my sister. It also taught me a valuable lesson. Asking for help is not a weakness, but something that can be very beneficial. This experience taught me that stepping out of your comfort zone can lead to unexpected rewards. Since I went through that experience, I have felt more confident when starting new and difficult tasks. Compared to before, I am more willing to ask for support and take on challenges I would have avoided. In retrospect, that moment of struggle turned into something truly positive. I'll never forget how my sister helped me when I needed it most. Her support made the whole experience not only easier, but also deeply meaningful. So you should notice all of the vocabulary that is used in this response. We looked at all of that vocabulary in another lesson. You should also notice how this response is very well structured. First, we have the story, event by event, and then the second half of the response is the reflection, right? How did that experience make this person feel? So this is a very well structured, high scoring response. Next is interactive writing / the writing sample. These two are the same. You're given 30 seconds to prepare your response and you have 5 minutes to write. The prompt that we'll look at this time is share a moment when you received or offered emotional support. How did it impact the relationship? And here's the response. A few months ago, my friend was going through a tough time after losing a family member. First, I didn't know what to say, but I decided to just listen. Next, I spent time with her every day, helping with small things and making sure she didn't feel alone. For example, I would cook her dinner or plan activities like movie nights or coffee dates to help take her mind off of the tragic events. After that, she slowly began to smile again. As a result of this time together, our friendship grew much stronger. This experience taught me that offering emotional support can be both challenging and rewarding. It was hard to see her in pain, but being there for her was an enriching moment in my life that helped me become a better friend. In retrospect, that time helped us build deeper trust. Since I went through that experience, I have become a more caring and understanding friend. So the same thing, the first paragraph is the story, event by event, and then the second paragraph is the reflection. Here's an example of a read then speak question. So here you're given 20 seconds to prepare and 90 seconds to respond, and typically the prompts have multiple parts like we see here. Talk about a volunteer experience you've had or would like to have. What kind of volunteer work did you do or want to do? Where did or would this take place? How did or would this experience impact you and others? Last summer, I had an unforgettable volunteer experience at a local animal shelter. First, I helped clean cages and walk the dogs. Next, I started spending more time comforting scared or shy animals. I became particularly close to a dog named Bonnie. I walked her every day, and I even considered adopting her, but my mother is allergic to dogs. By the end of the summer, I had helped organize an adoption event. As a result, several animals found new homes, including Bonnie. In retrospect, I'm glad I stepped outside my comfort zone. Working with the animals was challenging at times, especially when they were sick or scared. But it was also deeply rewarding, not just for them, but for me too. I learned how to be more patient and responsible. This experience taught me that small actions can make a big difference. I have become more caring and confident compared to before. So this response, like we have seen before, has two parts: the story and the reflection. And this response also does a very good job of addressing each part of the prompt during the response, which is important to do to maximize the number of points that you get. Next, we have interactive writing part B. For this, you're not given any time to prepare, and you're given 3 minutes to write. How can stepping out of your comfort zone benefit your professional growth? Give an example of a situation where taking on a new challenge at work led to positive outcomes. A situation when I took on a new challenge at work and ultimately benefited was when I led my first team meeting. I was nervous when my boss asked me to do it. I had never spoken in front of a group before. First, I prepared notes so that I knew what I wanted to say in the meeting. Next, I practiced and prepared with a coworker's help. After that, the meeting went well and I felt proud. As a result, I gained confidence and was trusted with more responsibilities. This experience taught me that taking risks can lead to rewarding growth. In retrospect, although I was nervous at first, it was an enriching lesson in leadership. And we have interactive speaking. For these, you're given no time to prepare and just 35 seconds to respond. And the example response would be, I used to procrastinate a lot, which was challenging and stressful. To change it, first, I set small goals. For example, I decided that I wouldn't procrastinate on my homework for just my physics class. Over time, I did the same for more classes. In addition, I used a planner to stay organized. As a result, I felt less anxious and more focused, responsible, and confident. So although this is a shorter response, I still have the two parts, the story and the reflection.